This announcement is for my jury. Can I please have you come to the front of the ballroom, jury? Thank you. All right, I think we have everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? All right. Did we get some coffee? Did we get some muffins? All right, very good. Well, I want to thank you all so much for being here this morning for day 2 of the 2026 All-America City Award. We have some incredible presentations lined up for you. I know we've got some nervous communities, but you all are all going to knock it out of the park. And our very talented, very dedicated jury is here to listen diligently, ask you questions, and take great notes. And I would just like to introduce them very quickly before we get started. Our leader in charge today is Maya Camo, a National Civic League board member, previous AAC winning community with Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and overall wonderful human. Maya, can you kick us off with introductions?
Hi, everybody. I'm Maya Camo. Can't wait to watch your presentations today. I'm coming from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, but I run a small public affairs consulting firm in Washington, D.C. Great to be here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen Olikara. I'm from the Midwest, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right. And I'm a civic entrepreneur focused on combating the toxic divisions of our country and creating a culture of bridge building where we can work together and solve our community problems. So I run an organization called Bridge Entertainment Labs that's focused on storytelling and bridging divides. So honored to be here and great. Looking forward to seeing your presentations. Thank you.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Daly. I am the proud mayor of Tallahassee, Florida. It is an honor to be on the jury. I love the energy. Let's bring it on.
Hi, I'm Sonvi Yadav. I'm one of the youth jurors today, and I'm from Colorado Youth Advisory Council, where we basically help make policies that benefit the youth. And I'm so excited to be here. I've read all your applications, and they're absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay Kerr. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Woohoo, shout out to Baltimore. I am a political consultant at a firm that was started by a group of former Obama officials. So we advise the Democratic Party, we advise political campaigns and companies on how to navigate this changing and evolving political climate. Before that, I spent about 10 years on Capitol Hill. I've also read all of your applications. I'm so honored to be here, and I love the energy.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophie Tipper. I represent Senate District 16 to the Colorado Youth Advisory Council with Sonvi. I'm also one of your youth jurors, and I also read all your applications and loved it all, and I love all the youth that are here today.
Hi everyone, my name is Maya Guzdar. I'm Director of Policy and Programs at a nonprofit called Allies. We're essentially building an international network of mayors dedicated to defending democracy and fighting authoritarianism. So excited about all the work that you all are doing. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Super excited to be here. Woohoo!
Good morning. My name is Jim Hunt. I'm from Clarksburg, West Virginia, a 1957 All-America city. I was not serving on city council or as mayor back then, but most people accused me that I was. But I've also read your applications, and I would echo some comments made last night. If America could be in this room this morning, a lot of the issues that we have would disappear.
Good morning. My name is Nick Walker. I work for Stand Together. I am a grant funder, so I manage a civics education portfolio. So I support a lot of groups that are trying to inculcate the type of civic values that your applications all stand for. So I'm really excited to see like really robust civic society already coming together, and excited to be here today. So thank you very much.
Good morning, good people. I am Casey Atayero. I am the Chief External Affairs Officer at the Joyce Foundation. We are a Chicago-based funder, but we fund, right. We fund regionally. I know River Forest is in the house. Good to see you guys. We fund across the Great Lakes, and as part of my work, I'm building out a civic life program. And I will say, reading your applications was such a joy. I'm so already incredibly proud of the work that you're doing and can't wait to see your presentation, so thank you.
Good morning, good people. How y'all doing? Hey. Michael Hallman, Urban Libraries Council. We are an innovation and action tank of nearly 200 public library systems across North America. I work across civic, health, and democracy and economic opportunity. Libraries rock. Look forward to talking to you all, hearing you all's presentations today. All right, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to invite my Block 1 presenters to exit the ballroom, and we will welcome you back in with our first committee in just a moment. Thank you.
Chief, you lead, Chief. Get home. It's all about ice dance.
Are you ready?
Ready!
Please begin.
Boost, roll the tape. Hello, Denver. We are Bowling Green, Warren County, Kentucky. We're 1 hour north of Nashville, 90 minutes south of Louisville, Kentucky's fastest growing city and among its most diverse. In the next 25 years, our population is doubling to 250,000. We don't want that change to happen to us, but with us. Calling it Project 2050, we work with Google Jigsaw AI technology to build the biggest virtual town hall in the country. We were a test city and crashed the site 6 times. To grab attention, our local media reported fake news from the year 2050 and delivered 20,000 fake newspapers. We're home to Western Kentucky University's nearly 16,000 students and saw a gap between students and community. The Downtown Ambassador Academy was created with the city by students. It combines experiences at local businesses and immersive learning about how local government works. Our International Center and the Corvette Assembly Plant opened in 1981, and now 15% of our population is foreign-born, 100 languages are spoken at our schools, and we have 40 international metal manufacturers. Within 1 day's drive of 60% of major US travel markets and 30 minutes from Mammoth Cave National Park, we're also home of hospitality icon Duncan Hines. He is more than cake mix. Born in 1880, he bought his first car in his 30s when cars were new. Publishing his 1936 travel diary, Adventures in Good Eating, he became the first Google reviewer. With family-friendly events like Duncan's Duck Paddle Race, Pickleball Palooza, and the Eats and Beats Music Fest, we celebrate his legacy of good food, entertainment, and wellness at Duncan Hines Days. Named for Bowling Green Park in New York City, where colonists toppled a King George III statue and melted it into musket balls for the Revolution, and for General Joseph Warren, who dispatched Paul Revere on his famous midnight ride. We're excited to celebrate America's 250th with you in Bowling Green and Warren County, Kentucky, where everybody has a seat at the table.
Hello, Denver. My name is Brad Hogue, and I serve our community as the Community Engagement and Recruiting Sergeant for the Bowling Green Police Department. The kind of growth that we're experiencing in Bowling Green and Warren County creates significant opportunities. But with those opportunities comes a very important question. Who gets to help shape what comes next? We decided a while ago that the future of our community had to be built by those who would live it. So we began building a civic culture where more people could participate, more people could belong, and more people could lead. And today, we'd like to invite you to our table to see what we're all about.
My name is Kirsten Homer. I'm a transplant to the Bowling Green, Warren County area, and I have found my voice through volunteering and serving my chosen community. As we began planning for the next 25 years, we knew every resident deserved a voice in shaping our future, not just those who were able to make it to midweek city or county town hall meetings. So working together with our community, we launched BG 2050. As a Google Jigsaw beta city, Bowling Green, Warren County partnered with Innovation Engine, local institutions, and more than 100 community listening partners to create the largest AI-assisted civic engagement town hall in the country. In just 33 days, nearly 8,000 unique neighbors shared more than 1 million responses and nearly 4,000 ideas by scanning QR codes that tracked what locations were providing input. This geo-tracking technology helped us discover what neighborhoods were missing from the conversation without having to ask people for personal identifying information, which allowed us to intentionally expand our outreach so everyone could help shape the future. As the first large-scale pilot of Google's Jigsaw sense-making platform, BG 2050 is now serving as a model for communities worldwide and inspired the national We the People initiative to expand civic participation in communities across the nation. Across the board, BG 2050 identified consistent areas of common ground. Individuals from every neighborhood wanted to preserve Bowling Green's character as we grow, invest in our infrastructure, celebrate arts and culture, and create more opportunity without losing what makes this place home. Those ideas now guide 8 community pillar groups to help develop recommendations and implement strategies for city and county planning, while ongoing listening sessions help ensure our residents remain part of the conversation. When we launched BG 2050, It was not about AI or virtual town hall experiences. It was about creating a place where every voice helps shapes our future and our way of making sure everyone has a seat at the table.
My name is Caden Lucas, and before creating the Downtown Ambassadors Academy, I was one of many students who wanted to get involved but didn't know how. Bowling Green was my college home, but it was not yet my future. So what began as conversations with my peers about disconnect became a student-designed program that would teach the skills of civic engagement. Those selected represented all 6 academic colleges, 15 majors, 15 hometowns, and a broad cross-section of the Western Kentucky University student body. Nearly 1/4 identified as students of color. The cohort was evenly split between men and women, and half were graduating seniors preparing to enter the workforce. With support from more than 40 businesses, nonprofits, and community partners, participation remained completely free, ensuring every student had access to the opportunity. During the program, one student earned an internship with Innovation Engine, one of the founding partners of BG 2050, while another became the voice of the Bowling Green Hot Rods, our local minor league baseball affiliate. During a mock commission meeting, students stepped into local government firsthand. Before the exercise, only 1/3 felt confident explaining how ordinances become law. Afterward, more than 93% did. Additionally, 100% reported feeling more connected to downtown Bowling Green, more than 80% built meaningful relationships with community leaders, and 73% became more likely to pursue a career in Bowling Green after graduation. Today, students and alumni help lead the Academy as advisors, application reviewers, and mentors for future cohorts. For decades, Bowling Green, Warren County was where students came to earn a degree. Today, it's where they choose to stay, serve, lead, and take their seat at the table.
I'm Talia. I am born and raised in Bowling Green and Warren County and do downtown development for our city. In a community growing as quickly and as diversely as Bowling Green, Warren County, creating opportunities to belong is just as important as creating opportunities to be heard. And for us, that opportunity comes through Duncan Hines Days. Many Americans recognize Duncan Hines from a cake mix box, but we remember the man himself. Long before online reviews, he traveled America's highways, recommending places where families could find good food, safe lodging, and genuine hospitality. His legacy was about bringing people together around the table. And every summer, that legacy comes to life during Duncan Hines Days, our largest week-long festival. Over 4 years, more than 60,000 people have gathered at our free concerts, art experiences, family-friendly events, and local dining experiences hosted by over 80 community partners at 40 locations. And through Duncan Hines Days, neighbors become friends and new residents become part of our story. Businesses, nonprofits, and volunteers build partnerships that keep going after the event ends. And Duncan believed a meal could bring people together, like our friend Sam Bush here, father of Newgrass, an International Bluegrass Hall of Famer and Bowling Green native, reminding us to be kind as he played at our Eats and Beats Music Festival for Duncan Hines Days. And these moments create something even greater, a community where everybody knows there's a place waiting for them at the table.
My name is Jacob Condiff, and as an educator and lifelong resident of Bowling Green, Warren County, I spend every day helping young people understand that the best ideas come from learning and working together. It is my personal goal to make sure that our youth, regardless of background, know they belong here, and as a community, we share the same values. In Bowling Green, Warren County, collaboration is the basis for how we solve problems. We've discovered that when governments, schools, businesses, nonprofits, and residents share leadership, they create opportunities no one organization could have done alone. Programs flourish and withstand the test of time when all affected parties have buy-in. That's why collaboration has become the gold standard of our civic infrastructure. Beyond the initiatives we've highlighted today, we also host our Over 60 Academy, the Academy for New Americans, the Young Americans Academy, the Citizens Police Academy, the Junior Police Academy, and other community-geared cohorts to create year-round pathways for residents of every age and background to learn, lead, and engage. Each academy looks different, but they all accomplish one goal: bringing people together, building relationships, and creating new civic leaders. Because in Bowling Green, Warren County, collaboration is about making sure every generation has a sense of belonging and a seat at the table.
As
As a community engagement officer, I see every day that trust isn't something government can ask for. It has to be earned. Thousands of residents helped shape BG 2050 and can already see their ideas guiding our future. Students who once felt disconnected are now leading, serving, and building careers here. Neighbors who may have met for the first time at Duncan Hines Days are continuing those relationships through volunteerism, partnerships, and civic life. However, our work is not done. There will always be another neighbor to welcome, another voice to hear, and another leader to invite into the conversation. Because in Bowling Green and Warren County, the strongest sense of community isn't built when everyone thinks alike. It's built when everyone feels they belong and when everyone has a seat at the table.
Great job, Bowling Green. That was awesome. Can I be that seat at the table with a Duncan Hines yellow cake with chocolate icing? Because those are my favorite.
Great choice.
We give away 7,000 of them every year at Duncan Hines Days.
Nice. Wonderful job. We're going to now ask you some questions, nothing to be nervous about. We'll have a round of about 10 minutes, and my distinguished jury, I'm going to turn to them. We're going to start with Mayor Daley. You're first.
Well, first of all, congratulations. You're first. And it's tough being the first one up there, and I thought y'all did a great job. Absolutely great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comment and then a question. And my question's a softball, so don't worry about it, all right? Comment. The Citizens Academy is extremely impressive. To have those type of returns that you were talking about with civic engagement and having students that are engaging in the city, understanding, which breeds comfort with the government and builds community, is second to none. So congratulations on that. I am a sucker for festivals. I'm coming to Duncan Hines Days, absolutely, hands down. But what I want to know is, what is your favorite part of the festival that creates that sense of community, that truly celebrates who you are and where you're going?
The Eats and Beats Music Festival has a community art mural section where we have 4 huge murals that have all of the Bowling Green landmarks that make us special, and we have kids and adults coming together, basically just coloring the entire community, and it's a really fun time. We also have 27, 30-ish food trucks, and we focus on Kentucky talent and local talent that plays the festival, so we get to uplift our young musicians at our Bowling Green Rock Band Academy. I gotta give them a shout out.
Great work, y'all. Really amazing presentation. The question is around your collaboration with Google. What did you learn about effective use of technology, like with citizens, regardless of kind of what their comfort level was with technology? And then also just what did you learn about just the overall process in terms of you all collecting information and being able to like rapidly make sense of it?
So the 4,000 ideas were actually weeded down from about 10,000. The way the software worked was you could submit a comment up to a certain number of characters, and then you could vote yes, no, or pass. And that is how we got to the 1 million reactions. But we did the biggest marketing campaign in recent memory in Bowling Green, Warren County to get those 100 listening partners out and about in the community. You saw the campaign QR codes at every restaurant, every store, on the buses, on the news. Our news even reported 2050 stories for an entire month talking about this. And we specifically targeted neighborhoods that were underserved, and we could track those 100 QR codes to figure out which ones were most effective and then find need areas to get to later on in the month. And we also learned that the community we need to continue educating the community, because a lot of the things that the citizens were asking for, we already do a version of. They just don't know yet. So it is, as always in municipal government, the conversation of educating is ongoing.
Thank you so much for your presentation. It was really great. My question actually is for Talia, right?
That's me.
Yeah, okay, great. As someone who's born and raised in Bowling Green. Curious about how your sense of community has evolved as a result of this work. Like, how have you seen the shifts in your feel of community?
So I actually grew up on a farm right outside Bowling Green. My parents and grandparents are also there, and I live across the street from them now. So I get to experience the agricultural life with the growing city life in downtown. And like any community, the movement of people dictates where your city thrives. And downtown Bowling Green was forgotten after we got 2 malls next to the interstate away from downtown. So I have had the pleasure over the past 30 years to watch the city and county reinvest in downtown, creating a TIF district, building up our Bowling Green Hot Rods minor league team, building a performing arts center, and I have had the pleasure of watching our community come back to life at its heart. And right now we're in the middle of a giant riverfront park project. We have a river going through downtown Bowling Green that was a dump for many, many years and a landfill, and now we are finally spending $15 million to bring it back to life and be a river town again and make it active for outdoor recreation.
Thank you so much. Echo the comments here. Really great job. Really impressive. I wanted to applaud this ambitious use of AI and technology in sort of working in civic infrastructure. As I'm sure you all know, like one of the largest challenges is sort of like a selection bias, right? Like who sort of shows up to give their voice to it. In theory, like technology and AI should be a mechanism for sort of giving voice to folks who otherwise cannot. They can't attend meetings. They don't know where to, something like that. I'm curious, I know you're early on with this process, but do you see AI as like a real transformative mechanism for giving voice to some of those populations that otherwise like literally don't know how to show up or don't know when to show up in those communities?
So I actually am a teacher, and we have implemented very similar stuff. So we started with the BG 2050 initiative and had all of the community members have access to their voice. And in the school, we've implemented a very similar thing. So at the school that I work at, we did a thing where we put a QR code out, and students could say, what do they need to see in their school? What do they need to see in their education? And so we've taken it from the top and brought it down all the way into the high school, middle school, and elementary school levels to give everybody a voice to take part in the creation of their own future.
Thank you for the presentation. It was really great. My question is, you mentioned about the 100 languages that are spoken in your community, and I think that's really great having that diversity. But how do you ensure that either in your virtual town halls or just public meetings, how do people who maybe aren't as proficient in English able to share their opinions?
So we luckily have a really great language service that we use at the city that we have sheets that individuals can point to that has over 100 languages printed on it where they can say, this is what I speak, and we can call in and have a live person translating with us. We also recently got approved in our city budget about 2 cycles ago. Since so many of our employees are also part of these diverse communities that we're trying to serve, they can now qualify for translation certification pay. So that our employees can, on a voluntary basis, with some financial compensation for it, agree to be translators for the city. So I have police officers that speak different dialects of Burmese or Bosnian or Spanish that agree to translate for other departments to make sure that everyone can have access to city services and participate in things like town hall meetings. And we have been really, really blessed that our employees have latched on to that so well, and that we've been able to get at least one in-person live translator for every demographic that we're needing to serve.
So after all of the aggregate data came out, the final report is also available online if you all want to see what it looked like. It's on whatcouldbgb.com. we were able to narrow it into 8 major topics as to what the community wanted. And one of those things was focusing on downtown and expanding the riverfront. And we already had a plan for whitewater rafting there, but utilizing that community support is how we were able to actually get the extra $15 million from the state of Kentucky to make that happen. Our local taxpayers are not paying for the Riverfront Park, but revitalizing downtown and having more festivals, more local things to do, more activities is one of the top 8 things there. So because of the community support, our state legislators heard us.
Echoing the comments earlier, amazing presentation. Super cool use of technology with the Google AI Jigsaw. I'm wondering if you guys had any challenges, like especially reaching older adults, just because it is a very technological way of doing government, and if you could speak about those challenges.
Yes, so we actually sent several of our listening partners to our senior living areas, to places that seniors gather, and we had them with an iPad helping each of them work through it. My dad even, I helped to get through on his laptop showing him how it worked. But the software was as simple as possible with just a yes, no, or pass, and we tried to help them figure out what they want to see in Bowling Green, but we actually went to them to help make that happen.
Bowling Green, you were awesome. Thank you for kicking us off this
Thank
morning.
you.
You're finished. Go celebrate. We'll see you soon, and I know we all are welcome at your table, so thank you. Chelsea, 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 waking us up this morning. Welcome. Thank you. Are you ready?
Chelsea ready! Cue the video, please.
Chelsea, a city built by immigrants and hardworking families. Like many cities in this country, Chelsea is facing serious issues. Issues that for any other community might create fear, despair, and division. When Chelsea faces moments like these, we don't run, we don't hide, we take it on together as one. Our Downtown Task Force and Chelsea Hub bring together local business owners, city staff, social service workers, and court personnel. In close collaboration, they identify challenges and implement strategic interventions for residents and families in need. When COVID hit, Chelsea was one of the most impacted communities in Massachusetts. The pandemic increased and exposed food insecurity and poverty. In response, the city and nonprofit partners launched food pantries that continue serving residents today. Despite the challenges our community faces, we want Chelsea's young people to know that their potential is limitless.
Good morning, CHS.
Chelsea Public Schools created the Chelsea Opportunity Academy, housed within the high school, to serve students needing flexibility, additional support, and a second chance. To grow this program and its impact, the city purchased a permanent location that will serve as a sanctuary for opportunity. Chelsea is powered by resilience, built on trust, and driven by community. This is the way, the Chelsea way.
This is Chelsea, Massachusetts.
A city of over 60,000 residents in only 1.8 square miles.
One of the most densely populated communities in Massachusetts.
65% Latino.
Nearly half foreign-born.
A gateway city where generations of families arrived searching for opportunity.
And found a community.
Showing up for each other.
In Chelsea, challenge doesn't divide us.
It defines how we respond. Because in Chelsea, no one is alone. We call that
the Chelsea way! Food insecurity has long challenged Chelsea, but during COVID-19, that challenge became impossible to ignore.
School closed, jobs disappeared.
Families isolated, needs skyrocketed.
I am Gladys Vega, president of La Colaborativa. What started during COVID on the front porch became a powerful community movement. Together, we built the region's largest emergency food response, rescuing and distributing 6 million pounds of food every year.
Tenemos yuca, plátano, maseca.
Yuca, plátano, maseca! La Colaborativa, faith organizations, and community partners transformed food access into connection. El Verdulero, our mobile food pantry, brought culturally sensitive food directly into the neighborhoods.
And together, we help transform empty industrial spaces into large food distribution centers that now support and feed our families, creating our survival center, where food brings hope and community resilience grows every day.
And as residents, we didn't need to ask for help. They met us at our doorsteps.
No shame, no stigma. Just community and a whole lot of cultura.
And we call this
the Chelsea way! But food security alone doesn't build a future. Education does. Chelsea Opportunity Academy was created for students who were not succeeding in traditional school systems.
Overaged, undercredited,
Working students,
multilingual learners,
Students balancing jobs, school, immigration struggles, and even family responsibilities.
So we develop relationships from day one. Trust is built at COA through non-judgmental conversations and valuing our students' voices.
At COA, they see me for who I am. I needed support outside of the classroom. They heard my needs and helped me meet them.
More than 500 students served, over 200 graduates. Chelsea took a holistic approach to education, and the results speak for themselves.
These are the results.
My teachers at COA make me feel empowered and capable.
I learned my authenticity is my greatest asset. At COA, I wasn't behind. I just needed a different path.
That's what we call
the Chelsea
Way!
In Chelsea, just across the Boston Harbor, public safety is built on trust and transparency. One of the most densely populated cities in Massachusetts, 60,000 residents in 1.8 square miles. Trust is everything here.
People don't call us on their best day. They call us when everything's falling apart.
So Chelsea redefined what policing looks like through innovative initiatives that place our officers into the community we serve, where we live amongst our residents in a partnership that delivers wraparound police services to ensure everyone receives the undivided attention they deserve.
Like resident officers living in public housing.
And through the Chelsea Hub.
And school resource officers.
All sharing a common goal of community engagement.
More than 50% of Chelsea officers reflect the communities that we serve.
We're not just responding to calls. We're committed to building relationships.
I used to be a part of the problem, and now I'm a part of the solution.
Programs like Build a Base and Cops and Bobbers connect officers and youth before a crisis ever happens. Discipline!
Discipline!
Respect!
Respect!
Family! Fun!
Fun! Build the base! Build the base! Build the base! Build the base!
We don't wait for problems to come to us. We form the Chelsea Hub.
Hi, my name is Shiara, Chelsea born and raised. I was struggling with homelessness and substance abuse. There was a time I hit rock bottom, sleeping on park benches and lost in addiction. Addiction doesn't discriminate. I come from a family of hardworking people, and when I could no longer save myself, my family, my city, and the Chelsea Police Department refused to let an overdose become the end of my story.
In Chelsea, collaboration is not reactive, it's proactive. The Chelsea Hub was launched in 2015 as the first hub situation table in the United States. Every week, community organizations and government agencies come together to identify individuals and families facing elevated risk so we can mobilize all together before a situation becomes an emergency.
The Chelsea Hub mobilizes resources within 24 to 48 hours.
Because of stories like Shiada's, building trust is not a one-way street. It's a Chelsea Way street.
Mental health, recovery, housing.
Youth support.
Over 1,200 situations addressed.
Teens connected to care. And over 30% reduction in juvenile arrests.
Police, providers, and the community working together to change lives. The Chelsea Way!
3 systems.
Food security.
Education.
Public safety. In Chelsea, we don't wait for change. We build it
together!
What do we build?
Trust.
Who are we?
Chelsea.
In every language.
Listen.
From the streets to the schools, from the hardest moments to the brightest futures. We call that Chelsea fuerte, Chelsea way, Chelsea puede, the Chelsea way, Chelsea fuerte, Chelsea way, Chelsea puede, the Chelsea way, Chelsea fuerte, Chelsea way, Chelsea, woohoo, Chelsea! Let's go, Chelsea!
Chelsea!
Let's go, Chelsea!
Good job, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Aside from the unbelievable energy, what I have loved seeing is so many different stakeholders and members of your community on this stage. It's really inspirational. Thank you for all of that. Going to turn to Lindsay for the first question of our jury. Oh, is it Lindsay? Are you up, Lindsay? Yeah, you're up.
Guys, that was awesome. Really hard. It's clear you practiced, you invested a lot in that, and you did hard work, and it paid off.
The Chelsea way!
Good job. Very good job. My question is around your community policing. So one of the things in your application says that residents report greater confidence in police transparency and responsiveness. How do you know that? How do you measure it? What are the metrics to get that, to be able to say that?
Well, I think it's measured by what you see here, community. Our philosophy, it's always been engagement over enforcement. You see with our youth, with our Build a Base program, we're a small urban city. You know when the community is working with you, and I'm blessed to work with everybody here, great city management, great civic leaders. We're very transparent. Thankfully, our transparency is definitely a help to us. We seem to be very well respected in the community, and that's our main mission.
And I have to add, as a person that has been an activist for 36 years at La Colaborativa, things were not like this in Chelsea. Partnerships with police officers. A group of us had to bring 35 years ago the criminal justice system because we felt that we were not speaking the language that we're using force. But this is what built community. Being accountable, having this relationship, we identify members of our community to become police officers. We're not afraid of that. And when there's the problem, we immediately talk to our chief. I mean, we are the largest Latino-led organization, immigrant Latino-led organization in an era of hate, right? Because that's what we're experiencing if you're immigrant. We don't have that problem in Chelsea. I can rely heavily on all these police officers because they're not only our friends, they are family members. And this is what Chelsea Way is all about.
Well, thank you, Chelsea. I gotta say, I get goosebumps seeing the way that you declared the Chelsea Way and the way that you're coming together from many different walks of life. So thank you for that. I think how we invest in our young people is such an important mirror of our community's performance. So my question's about the COA. It's currently serving 527 students. What are the challenges or opportunities you see for the future if you want to expand that program?
So COA picks up students who feel that they no longer have opportunities. They no longer have a chance at a diploma, and we bring them in. So these would be your typical dropouts. I can't go to school because I'm working. I have a family. I might have issues with the criminal justice system, and we provide them hope for a future. How do we expand? We currently have, try and maintain about 140 to 150 students regularly. We are building a brand new school for them out of a 120-year-old church, which will really be an icon when it comes to the buildings that we have for our school system. We are in our 8th year, and now it's looked upon by students as, that's a place I want to be. That's what I need. I need people to trust me. I need to have a voice. And we continue to spread that message, and students now want to be in Chelsea Opportunity Academy.
And I'll just add that the fact that it's a church that we bought does not escape
Chelsea has been the victim of intense immigration enforcement because of our sanctuary city status, right? And in Chelsea, we do not change our values. We do not walk away. In fact, we do this, right? We come together. And the fact that we are creating a sanctuary for our young people there is no lost irony in that for me.
Sean Michael.
First off, y'all should take the show on the road. I feel like there should be like an offering bucket or something happening around here, man. I am taken by how many organizations and neighborhoods that are represented here. Sometimes as you expand that bucket, the mission can get diluted. People are bringing their own agendas, but you all seem to have really found a way to create a shared culture and shared vision. What's the key to that?
As many of my colleagues have said, so my name is Norielis, I'm city councilor. I've been a city councilor now for about 5 years. My community has been my home since I was born. I have worked only in the city of Chelsea. I was recruited at the age of 14 against my will by Gladys Vega, so I'm also a director of our youth center at La Colaborativa. But it's transparency, it's trust, it's making sure that when it's not feeling right, you go with that gut feeling and you approach those who you work with and you meet each other halfway. We haven't always been on the same page, and so you see us up here dancing and having a great time. We've had tough conversations, but those tough conversations have to be had. And you have to bring in the community to the table so that they can be part of that conversation. The youth, the elders, our immigrant families. Those conversations need to include the people you represent and serve in your community.
And I also want to add on to that. I've been a member of the Chelsea community since October 2020, and the community has opened up its arms to me. I'm a proud Southerner, and I keep my Southern charm, but the values that Chelsea operates is love. One of my students shared with me that wherever you go, there you are. Everyone knows you. It's tiny but mighty. And when you embrace those core values, the city loves you back. And I find no greater joy than every day for 230 days out of the year to get up and serve the students of Chelsea Public Schools and the larger community.
Maya. Thank you all so much. If you weren't such busy community advocates, you should consider careers in musical theater or dancing. Like, you've got a great plan B.
Yeah, Mando!
My question is about your food insecurity efforts. So something that my organization is really interested in is how communities can come together during moments of crisis, but how do you institutionalize the networks that you build during that crisis and ensure that they're long-lasting and equitable and continue forward? Can you tell me a bit about how you made that transition?
Sure. So when I said that it began at the porch of my house, it was March 5th of 2020. The governor had not yet closed the state of Massachusetts. But because La Colaborativa provides essential services to essential workers, we knew people were getting sick, that people were not working. So what we did, basically, we knock on doors of the largest New England produce center that houses 250 fruit and vegetable distributions in our backyard of our city. So we knock on those doors, and we have no shame. At 3 o'clock, at 3:30 in the morning, a group of us wake up every 3 months and remind those guys, we're still in business, we're a recycling company. Give me whatever you're gonna toss that has 3 days life, and we'll get it and we'll distribute it. In our food line, it's not just food, it's the lifeline. We have a doctor that does sort of like self-awareness, self-care. We make sure that if you're homeless, that we connect you with all the services. The city of Chelsea and La Colaborativa and many of the nonprofits, we are there to serve, and we serve very proudly. And once again, the food line is not a stigma line. It's a culture thing. It's a way of getting the neighbors. You cannot imagine the friendships that were made in that food line during the pandemic because people were homebound. So we built relationships even when we're looking for food. Thank you.
No shame, no stigma.
I'm afraid we're running out of time for the question. Chelsea Mass, Tallahassee, Florida says hello. I see a lot.
Hey, Tallahassee!
I just want you to know that you brought the energy. The presentation was absolutely fantastic. I do look forward to following up with the youth. I was so impressed with what you had to say and the pride that you have in Chelsea. If I could get one word, you the most proud of your city, what would it be?
What makes you the most proud of Chelsea?
It's really all the adults supporting us and having our backs. Cause I don't know, I play sports and it was a struggle for me to like wake up in the morning, get motivated to do my things. But Officer Damien started a program called Build the Base. It was a camp for like 2 weeks, and it really motivated us to wake up in the morning, get ready, and do our work, and it really showed discipline.
Chelsea, dance us out.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having us this evening. I'm Officer Strait with the Chelsea Police Department, and I'm also homegrown. Chelsea's been my community. It's been my home. It's the place that raised me. And the camp that one of our athletes here, DK, was talking about was called Build the Base. So growing up in Chelsea, one of the biggest trials and tribulations I faced was not having productive environments around me. So I developed this camp called Build the Base, where during February break, April break, we have over 80 kids voluntarily come to this camp and participate in youth athletics, personal development classes, go on field trips, play sports, and we're just spending the entire day together. And I feel like it was a crucial outlet for these youth to be productive over that February break, because it's a week long where they're out of school with no structure. And I did everything I can with the support of my chief, my sergeant, the entire city, the school district. It was an all hands on deck event, and we were able to put a life experience, not just for me, but for these kids.
Great job, Chelsea.
Chelsea Way!
Yeah, dance us out, Chelsea, please. Dance us out.
See what's happening around in our community.
It is a great day, Conway. Are you ready?
We are ready. Let's go live to downtown Conway.
This is WMBF News.
Conway is a place like no other, full of life, festivity, and fun.
But Conway has seen its share of troubles, from the flood of 2015 to Hurricane Matthew just a year later, and then Hurricane Florence. From stormwater drainage projects with grant funding over $20 million, FEMA property buyouts creating a more resilient Conway. This includes 3 current stormwater parks that help divert stormwater from the Crabtree Canal, uplifting our riverfront parks to be flood resistant. Over 60 homes removed from the flood plan and converted into conservation property that will contain stormwater parks. Hundreds of acres of property along the riverfront permanently moved into conservation. 800 acres of a former steam plant converted into conservation.
Downtown Conway has always put its people first, and that commitment shines brightest during the holidays. Every season, the city intentionally creates moments that bring the entire community together, from families and local businesses to first responders, nonprofits, and visitors from across the country. Everyone has a place in the celebration. That spirit has transformed Conway into the holiday capital of South Carolina. In 2025, downtown Conway welcomed more than 2 million visitors, drawn in by unforgettable experiences, award-winning decorations, and a downtown atmosphere unlike anywhere else.
Now we go back to the studio with Mayor Barbara and Adam.
Good morning. It's a great day in Conway. I'm Barbara Jo Blaine, Mayor of Conway.
And I'm Adam Emmerich, the City Administrator for the City of Conway.
Our top story this morning. Residents of Conway have reason to be optimistic. Major stormwater improvements are underway in one of the areas hardest hit by flooding. And after years of devastating storms, the city is taking decisive steps to reduce risk and protect neighborhoods that have endured the worst of it.
These efforts are part of a broader approach to resilience, one that brings together infrastructure, communication, and community partnerships. We go now to our Public Information Officer, June Wood, who's on site.
Thank you. I'm here in Conway's most flood-prone areas, and this is a place for years that residents have faced repeating flood events that disrupted homes, routines, and peace of mind. I'm joined by April O'Leary, the founder of Horry County Rising. April, can you share with us what your flooding experiences were like and what these new stormwater projects mean to you?
Yeah, thank you, June. Hurricane Florence unleashed catastrophic flooding that gutted Conway and my home. And that profound grief, that loss of safety and security, led me to create Horry County Rising, which is a nonprofit of flood victims focused on stronger protections, trying to work to safeguard vulnerable families. And inspired by our advocacy, the City of Conway has partnered with Horry County Rising on bold enhancements and innovative initiatives. And together, we're replacing that fear and with confidence and renewed strength, and we're facing the next storm with a lot more hope and a lot more trust.
That partnership and collaboration between residents and the city is what's making a stronger, more resilient Conway. Reporting live from the field, I'm June Wood. Back to you.
What we've learned in Conway is that resilience isn't just about infrastructure, it's about relationships.
And those relationships don't begin during a crisis. They're built every day across the community.
And in Conway, we've actually built a system to do just that. We call it the Civic Pipeline.
And for a look at what that pipeline looks like across a lifetime, we go now to our Chief Meteorologist and Mayor's Youth Council member, Will.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm tracking a weird system coming through Conway. People voluntarily participating in local government. It starts early, with kids volunteering, attending events, and getting connected to their community. Then it strengthens into programs like the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council and the Junior Mayor, which is basically student government that actually does stuff. Then later, the Citizens Academy gives adults a behind-the-scenes look at how Conway really works, which is actually way more interesting than it sounds. And all of that creates something rare, a community where civic engagement becomes a natural part of your everyday life. For a closer look at how that happens on the ground, we go now to Deputy City Administrator MC Hyman.
Thanks, Will. That forecast is something Conway residents experience in real life every day. I'm joined by Skylar with the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. What has it meant to be junior mayor of this council, Skylar?
It's been an amazing opportunity. It's helped me to realize that everyone has a voice in our city, no matter who they are or how old they are. And it's given me more confidence, not only in myself, but in Conway.
And that early connection is just one way that Conway is building the next generation of leaders. But the pipeline doesn't stop there. I'm also joined by Frida, who participated in Conway Citizens Academy. Frida, what was that experience like?
I've seen all the cool things that Conway does on social media, so I didn't know what went into running a city. So the Academy opened my eye to the people, places, and challenges. Now I feel more connected, more confident, and more informed to get involved.
Great. That deeper understanding leads to something else, a desire to get involved and to give back. I'm also joined by volunteers Denise and Mandy. What led you to get involved?
Well, I've lived in Conway my entire life, and I love this city, but I wanted to feel like I was a part of it, like I could contribute to something bigger, so I started volunteering.
And what we found was it became more than just volunteering. The other volunteers, people from all over who moved to Conway to make it their home, became our friends, and it showed me how working together builds trust and strengthens our community.
And it gave us a connection and a sense of belonging.
And that sense of belonging is what keeps people coming back, not just to events, but to each other. What starts as youth leadership goes to informed residents and leads to volunteers finding community and connection. I'm Mary Catherine Hyman, reporting from the field at City Hall. Back to you.
What you've just seen is how we build relationships before
capital of South Carolina.
It's quite an honor, Mayor, but it's no surprise, no one does holidays like Conway. We go now to Bess Harry, the city's holiday coordinator, for a closer look at how Conway turns its downtown into a place built for everyone.
Thanks, Adam. I'm in downtown Conway at one of the city's signature Halloween events. Just 20 minutes away is Myrtle Beach, one of the most visited destinations in the country. But for many local families, experiences like that can still be expensive. Conway decided to focus on creating something special right here at home, a high-quality downtown experience that is fun, immersive, and accessible to everyone. During the month of October alone, the city hosts more than 200 events, and every single one of them is free and open to the public. For the people here tonight, that accessibility and sense of connection are exactly what makes these events so meaningful. Let's hear from some of the folks here tonight. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Tell us about yourself.
My name is George. I'm a small business owner here in Conway, and events like this mean everything to a small business. We have people that are shopping local, they're staying local, they're eating local, we're bringing people in from other communities. We have no downtown storefronts that are empty. I also work for Ability Beyond Barriers for the past 20 years. Conway has made everything inclusive for folks with intellectual and related disabilities and autism. It's absolutely amazing what you guys have done. Thank you so, so much.
That's great to hear. Let's see who else we can speak with. Hi.
Hi,
Tell us about yourself and what this event means to you.
my name is Patsy, and Sensory has just been so great for the activities and events that we have here. For individuals with sensory sensitivities, events like this can be overwhelming. So we've created parallel experiences, a quieter, more controlled environment that mimic what's happening here. The goal is simple. Everyone should have a place where they belong. Everyone with different abilities should feel welcome and safe.
That is so awesome, Patsy. Let's see if we have one other person we could speak with. Hello. Tell us about your name and about yourself and what you do.
Hi, my name is Veronica Ricardo. I work for City of Conway, the Culture Services, and it means a lot to us because before, Latino community was not participating. And now we see it. The numbers are high. Families are coming and doing memories and creating the future for our city. We are here. Nosotros estamos acá. Nosotros somos la ciudad de Conway. Gracias a la ciudad de Conway y El Gallo, el local Spanish radio station.
What you see in here isn't just a successful event. It's a community that has made a decision to create space for everyone. From accessibility to cultural inclusion to local business vitality, this is what that looks like in practice. Reporting from Scare on the Square, I'm Bess Harry. Back to you.
Thank you, Bess. In Conway, we made a deliberate choice to invest in civic life as a form of infrastructure.
From how we respond to challenges, to how we build leaders, to how we bring people together. Every piece is connected.
And the result is a community where engagement isn't something you have to seek out.
It's something you experience every day.
For all of us in Conway, South Carolina,
it's a great day in Conway!
Thank you, Conway, and what a clever presentation. More support for having great local news, something we can all be behind. We already have questions up, so I'm going to turn to the mayor.
I'll start it off. Mayor, great to see you again. We were just at U.S. Conference of Mayors, and you were bragging on your city being the holiday capital of South Carolina. It is great to see you again. The young man that's standing behind you is rocking the most incredible suit. I love that man. I need to know your tailor. Great job, and very impressed, Mr. Manager, with everything that's been presented and whatnot.
Thank you.
I have been in local government for 20 years as an elected official. I have never, ever heard of a holiday coordinator is that an official position with the city? Betsy?
Yes.
Step forward. I got to, because once you were introduced, it makes perfect sense. And knowing Conway's story and reading the application, it's incredible. Tell the story of how the infrastructure investments after the flooding and the hurricanes, working with the private sector, and your role of promoting the community has really taken Conway to the next level.
Well, we've had after the floods and everything, we kind of switched our attention and tried to create a great downtown area for everybody. So we started watching the public. We started decorating a little bit in a vacant alley that didn't have concrete, had no infrastructure at all. And we watched how the crowd moved. And finally we paved the alley and made it really beautiful. We named it Holiday Alley. And it follows the path of where people were naturally going.
Holiday Alley's on the screen behind over here. Yeah.
The Tunnel of Bones in October.
Yeah. Tunnel of Bones.
Yeah, no, congratulations on creative thinking.
I'm going to take the prerogative of the chair here for one quick question. I love a pipeline. So I love the Academy project. And my question for you is, do you have a way of monitoring success after students go through? Are you keeping track of alumni? How are you monitoring the impact of the program?
Yes, that's a great question. I think the greatest part is, we've got one here, I'm going to kick it to her to finish it up, but they're getting involved. They're joining boards and commissions for the city. They're becoming volunteers. They're our biggest advocate. I mean, I know we all probably struggle with social media negativity sometimes, and they're our greatest advocates on social media because now they understand things and know why the city does what it does. So that's one way they've become our like I said, our advocates in the community. But Frida participated in the Academy, so I'll hand it to her.
Hello, my name is Frida, and I went through the Citizens Academy, and I would say the best part is in every city you see the human side of how a city operates. When we see a lot of negativity online and people are talking about their city, you don't know that there are people who have families that are going back home and someone's getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning to take out the trash or to test the water quality. So that has been the best part of the Academy, is getting to see the humans that help run the city.
Thank you. Casey.
All right. I would just have to say, as a former journalist, I love the concept for your presentation. I would watch this morning show every day, for sure. I had a question about, in your application, you had talked about how resident sentiment toward local government has increased. And just wanted to know, like, how you measure that. Like, how are you sort of taking the pulse of residents and how they're responding to all of the wonderful activities that you guys are doing?
I'm going to start to try to answer this one, and then I'm going to give it to the mayor, I think. We used to hear that there's nothing downtown for kids to do. We used to hear that, people who live in Conway would say that they live near Myrtle Beach when they were identifying where they live. And we are now so fiercely proud of who we are and where we are that, I mean, those are fighting words now. And I might be the one that picks that fight. But that has changed the sentiment around Conway. And part of it's just because we're really freaking cool now. And people are proud to live where we are. And you know, I think that's the part of it. And I'm going to let the mayor.
And proud is the answer. I think we don't have any scientific way of actually measuring it, but what we know is that people in various communities are showing up. Anytime there's an event downtown, you know, there's shoulder room only. There seems to be this whole new wave of satisfaction of being a part of community, of having something to do. People I know who criticized us severely for being a slow-paced, nothing going on kind of town, now see us as the place to be. So we're really proud, but there's no real measurement of that except through our own eyes.
Well, I would just say, I mean, metrics matter, but vibes are important, and you guys have great vibes. So I can feel it.
My question are for the Youth Advisory Council members. Being on a Youth Advisory Council myself, especially looking at all the sustainable initiatives you guys have been involved in, I'd love to know why you got involved to start with and why you stay involved.
So personally for me, I've always been involved in student government. It's always been my thing. And what I've realized is going through the Mayor's Youth Council is that teaching our youth young what it's like to build a democracy is so important. Being in a government class isn't enough to really realize what it takes to run a city, what it takes to run a country or a state. I think it's so important to get youth involved early to see how their voices impact their school and their local communities so that they continue to impact the world.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate the presentation. I wanted to ask a little bit about the Holiday City model, which is really great because it seems like it's creating this sense of community infrastructure that people know is going to be there, right, and they can engage with. I'm curious if there's a feedback loop over time, right, as you you've created that sense of shared space and cultural engagement that is kind of really consistent. And is there a way to sort of have the public inform what the future state of that will be and how it might transform?
Well, I will say that we started with Christmas. Everybody does Christmas, and we were really wanting to get in Southern Living magazine for Christmas, and we were kind of jealous that we weren't. And we realized that because everybody does Christmas, you're competing with everybody. Halloween was that niche that we fell into, that we were like, nobody does this the way that we could. And we started with 350 plastic pumpkins in the trees that line our main street. We're now up to 3,500 pumpkins that are throughout the entire city. We put them on the campus of Coastal Carolina University, on the campus of Horry Georgetown Technical College, on the campus of our Conway Medical Center, on the campus of our high schools, and everybody then has a feeling of ownership. But what we've done especially is, we can see the growth from one holiday to the next by demand from the public. We were not going to do Valentine's Day. We were not going to do St. Patrick's Day. We were not going to be the holiday capital of South Carolina. But the demand from the public was, what are you going to do next? We're expecting you to do something. And I don't know, it might have been one of those, social media troll things that was just, oh, you gonna do Thanksgiving? And we're like, sure, let's do Thanksgiving. And so, what we ended up, we built a gondola, and we give free gondola rides in the river on for Valentine's Day. And we build everything now in-house, so there really is no limit to what we can do. And we kind of operate the city now as, it's like a theme park that's free. And when somebody calls and says, what time does it close? We're a city, we don't close. You can go anywhere you want, anytime you want, it's open. And that's part of what makes it awesome. Good.
Very quickly, there's such ownership of who we are as a holiday city. There was a windstorm, I don't remember what precipitated it, but nature, a hurricane actually. And our pumpkins were already up, and they blew about the city. Those people could have put those pumpkins on their porch, they could have put them in their trees. Hordes of people brought in bags of pumpkins as they found them downtown to make sure that they got back where they belong. I think that speaks volumes about how important that is.
Great presentation. First, Mayor Daley and I want to come down for Halloween, so we'll see you down there. Second, love the TV show concept of you don't already have a morning show, I hope you create one. And third, going to the Youth Advisory Council and the idea of the junior mayor, which I love, is there an idea that's come up from those conversations, from the young people that you've adopted?
Yeah, well, I think they've adopted one themselves. Do you want to talk about the recycling program at the school?
So we've done two things this past year, and I'll make this super quick. The first that we're starting next school year is a recycling project, because Conway High School, our local public high school, is the largest public facility that doesn't recycle, which seems like it doesn't make a huge impact, but with the environmental trend that we've been having in this world, we want to leave a positive impact on our city so that we're doing our part. Along with that, we just finished a mural downtown that was started by our previous youth council, and we felt like it was so important for us to leave our mark on the city, because so many of us are getting older, so that we can look back and we can remember what we did and our voices were heard.
They didn't just design the mural, they painted the mural too. It was 100% driven and done by them. It was fantastic too.
Thank you so much, Conway.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. You're done.
In the heart of Conway, where the sun shines bright, we bring you the news, morning into the light. From stories of triumph to tales of our friends, it's a great day in Conway, where the fun never ends. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back and see what's happening around
Welcome, Franklin. So nice to see you. Are you ready?
Hello, I'm Franklin City Administrator Eric Stuckey. In 2020, we were so honored to receive All-American City recognition for bringing people together. Then everything changed in our world, in our community, in ways we'd never imagined. But Franklin came through those challenging times stronger. We realized that real community isn't just something you celebrate, it's who you are, and it's built brick by brick over time. Now take a look at what Franklin does when it matters the most.
White supremacists once again making their presence known.
Posters linked to the hate group, the Patriot Front, were plastered in parts of downtown Franklin.
But it was Hanson's association with white supremacists who showed up at a campaign event in a show of support for her that has captured national attention. One of them, Brad Lewis, has described himself as, quote, an actual literal Nazi, which made us wonder why she'd be associating with such figures.
She lectured us from her chair that we're about to reap what we've sown. More incorrect words have never been spoken in these chambers.
Franklin stood up for our own, and Franklin stood up for each other.
I think we're going to get a lot of things done, and when we don't agree, I know we're going to hug it out, and we're going to be good, because that's how we do things here in Franklin.
I would have loved to have said one more time to her, bless your heart.
Hi. Woo! Hi, I'm Mindy Tate, CEO of Franklin Tomorrow. Franklin won the All-America City Award in 2020, but we didn't stop. We kept building. The challenge to our civic well-being you just saw in the video happened 3 years after that recognition. We learned that civic infrastructure isn't a trophy you put on a shelf. It's a structure you build. You have to reinforce it. And our structure was tested. I want you to look at our table as we build our city. This is our foundation, the structural framework we built before the 2023 crisis. And since that challenge, we have seen growth and engagement through Franklin Tomorrow Breakfast with the Mayors, Frank Talks community surveys, Healthy Democracy Initiative, and the Youth Advisory Council formation. Years of laying the groundwork, years of building the evidence that resident voices shape the decisions made in Franklin, Tennessee.
I'm April Eaton. Franklin is a prosperous community, predominantly white. The African American population is just over 5%. The poverty rate, 4.6%, and median income among the highest in Tennessee. As an 18-year Franklin resident, I know a city constructed only for the prosperous isn't truly a fully built city. So I want to share what we're constructing to make sure everyone is included and where we're honestly still building. Franklin partners with the African American Heritage Society to preserve not just structures like a historic home listed in the Green Book, but the stories of the people who constructed them and lived in them. The Hard Bargain Association is building deed-restricted homes in Franklin's historic Black neighborhood. The city waives development fees for projects that commit to affordable housing. Just last weekend, Williamson Remembers unveiled permanent markers in downtown Franklin, honoring the names and stories of victims of lynching. I was there when Mayor Ken Moore said, "We do not want to fall back into darkness." In other words, bringing truth to light. A city that is willing to put that kind of history in its public square is a city that is serious about what it's building. We're serious about fixing the gaps too, like outreach to new residents, renters, non-English speaking citizens, so that we're more inclusive in everything that we do. This is our community center. It is forums and spaces specifically designed to build belonging for people who have historically been left out. A city erected only for some residents, it's not a city, it's an enclave, and that's not Franklin.
I'm Mayor Ken Moore. October 2nd, 2023, neo-Nazis tried to dismantle the civic space we had carefully constructed at a mayoral candidate forum. They tried to block journalists from a public event, and they posted threatening flyers around town. For a city that has spent years building inclusive civic infrastructure such as the Fuller Story, Unite Williamson, Williamson Remembers, and community dialogue over decades framing who we are. That wasn't just a political controversy, it was a test of the entire structure we had erected. 8 of the 9 board members immediately responded, condemning what had happened. We chose to let voters decide and deliver the final verdict. But what happened beyond the board is the scaffolding I want to emphasize. Faith leaders responded, neighborhood associations met, the Coalition for Common Sense demanded that every candidate end their association with hate groups. The voters showed up in record numbers, 330% at early voting, and overall record turnout for a municipal election. This is the town hall. It's our government institutions and our free press, the structural steel of democracy. When democracy is tested, government either constructs integrity or it doesn't, and we did.
Hi, I'm Amy Hilton, a Franklin neighbor. I grew up in the Air Force, married into the Army. I have moved a lot, and I didn't know if I would ever find a true hometown. I moved to Franklin 4 years ago, and I have found my hometown there. I started attending Frank Talks shortly after we moved to Franklin, and I was impressed by the structure of the community. I was excited to jump into helping build on top of the community's strong foundation. I knew to vote early, and I shared early voting dates and locations with my mom friend text group. I wanted to make sure everyone could be involved in building our community. What I saw that November wasn't just a vote. It was Franklin deciding what kind of place to build going forward. And the fact that there were already people, institutions, and organizations in place to help us have that conversation, that's not accidental. That's architecture we've been framing here for a long time. This is our gathering place, where neighbors come together and continue building trust. It's the person next to you constructing community at a breakfast with the mayors. It's your neighbors building a shared understanding of the community. I'm not a politician, I'm just someone who helped build something here. And I can tell you, when we needed each other, we showed up, because we've been practicing that collaborative construction all along.
My name is Michael Walters Young, and I serve as the Chief Budget and Performance Officer for the City of Franklin. My job is to measure whether the structures we're building are sound. So let me tell you the data. We conducted surveys before the 2023 crisis and after. The results? Confidence in Franklin government, up 7%. Residents rating how well the city communicates about issues, up 11%. Sense of public safety from 95 to up to 97%. We faced a threat to our civic foundation directly from neo-Nazis and came out the other side with higher structural integrity. That is a direct outcome of civic infrastructure that is built before it is needed. What measurement systems do beyond crises is they frame decisions. For example, when residents told us that access to affordable mental health care was lacking, we didn't just rest. We founded Find Hope Franklin, a community-led initiative to break down stigma and to train people how to help. The results? In 2025, affordable mental health care was rated 18 percentage points higher than in 2022. This is our infrastructure, our surveys, our data, our feedback mechanisms, the accountability systems that transform resident voice into constructed policy. For a city without them is just a collection of unfinished intentions.
I'm Owen Johnson, 17 and a senior at Page High.
I'm Ratika Barathan, also 17 and a senior at Centennial High.
I'm Sophia Bailey, 18, a recent graduate of Centennial High School.
Before October, I didn't know there was a construction site where someone my age could help build what happened in the city.
The Franklin Youth Advisory Council changed that foundation. Mayor Moore helped construct space for our student leaders. Franklin Tomorrow supports the framework, and we're meeting with city officials about what actually matters to us.
In Franklin, young people aren't waiting for assembled seats at a table anymore. We are being invited to help construct that table, and that fundamentally changes what we believe is possible.
A city that includes its youth in the building process today has citizens who will care for it and reinforce it tomorrow.
We're standing here today because Franklin believes that building a democracy for the next 250 years means constructing with the people that are going to inhabit it.
This is where our city continues to be constructed.
Look at what we've constructed together, brick by brick, conversation by conversation, decision by decision, and generation by generation. The 2026 All-America City Awards ask which communities are framing the foundation for democracy for the next 250 years. Franklin's answer is this: you build the foundation before you need it. You measure whether that structure will hold, you tell the truth about where you're still building and constructing, and when it's tested, and trust us, it will be tested, you discover what you actually engineered. We are Franklin, Tennessee, and we would be honored to be a 2026 All-America City. Thank you so much.
Franklin, thank you so much for showing your collaborative and courageous leadership during a time of great test. You are an example for how the rest of this country can deal with those kinds of democratic threats that are facing us every day. So thank you so much for your leadership on that. I'm going to turn to Jim Hunt.
Yes, thank you. And I'm from West Virginia, and the same thing happened in our city. And I'm sure that when it happened, you were in the glow of winning All-America City in 2020 and probably felt just like just a terrible insult to your work. So how did you frame like that event then going forward to arrive here today?
So we organized, Franklin Tomorrow was one of the organizers of the candidate forum that was tried to be disrupted. We went forward. We tried to remain positive during that event. The room was full in our former city hall. But then we also, through our programs, Breakfast with the Mayors, Frank Talks, other programs, were able to get positive information and correct information out to our over 4,000 followers, and then on social media and that type of thing.
And as the candidate, we chose the high road, not to engage in the negativism at that time.
Thank you. I really love these architecture pieces. They're so cute. And my question was related to, thank you, Frank Talks. So obviously you have a lot of attendees. How do you keep up this engagement? And then how is this also like different from maybe like town halls or town councils where it's maybe more formal?
So Franklin Tomorrow is a 25-year-old plus community visioning and engagement organization. Our mission is to engage the community, foster collaboration, and advocate for a shared vision for the future of Franklin. We're an independent 501c3, but we work closely with the city. Frank Talks is a monthly program. We can have 80 to 100 people, usually in the locations. We rotate the locations around the city. Just last week, before we left, we put up the sign up on Humanitix for the July 13th event. We had no publicity on it. We had 25 sign-ups before the end of the day. When we promote it, we have a great following on social media, great collaboration with the city that shares our posts, which is a different audience. And then our 25-member board of directors also shares those opportunities on social media and other opportunities. LinkedIn has been great this year. Use LinkedIn.
And I would also say on behalf of the city, you know, hopefully one of the themes we're getting across here is build the infrastructure before you need it. Franklin Tomorrow has been in existence for over a quarter century. And so we've been building that collaborative style and that ability that Mindy and Franklin Tomorrow can do things that the city of Franklin can't. Because we are all Americans, which means what? We started with a revolution against central authority. We have a healthy questioning of our government, and that's great, that's okay, because it should be by the people, for the people, and of the people. And we work very hard, but very collaboratively together, so that when it got tough, collectively we could respond.
Thank you so much for this presentation and for your bravery in talking about a really dark time for your city. It means a lot, I think, to all of us in this dark time in our country. I really love how you framed democracy as something that you can construct, and you've actually laid out what the foundation looks like. Something that my organization that we're struggling with that I want to ask for your help on is, how do you talk about what democracy is to residents? When you're talking about constructing integrity and protecting democracy, sometimes that message can fall flat today when we're hearing, you know, from our central government or from other loud voices that maybe democracy isn't working or hasn't been working. Do you talk about this kind of foundation with your residents? How do you do that?
Well, first of all, Franklin was one of 2 cities picked for the Healthy Democracy Project of the National Civic League. So we engaged the public with public meetings. We had almost 400 at breakfast with the mayors to get community input. We had other listening sessions. And I think that's what we've done in our city is we've given great opportunity for citizens to express themselves. No matter which side of the equation or where they're coming from, they get to express their viewpoint. So that is the start of building a healthy democracy, is listening to the citizens.
One of the, in 2020 when we all won All-America City, Franklin Tomorrow had just completed what's called On the Table process that was created by the Chicago Community Foundation, and we patterned after Lexington, Kentucky. And we brought people together, over 1,000 people together in about 20 or 30 meetings over a snack or something, a beverage, to create conversation and to talk about what's good in our community, what can be better, and the impact engaged citizens can have. So that was a springboard for us, a watershed moment for Franklin Tomorrow, which has been around, as I said, 25 years. But we work in a lot of different areas collaborative with the city, but also our Chamber of Commerce, the Refuge Center. We are involved with the Find Hope Franklin, Williamson Remembers. So we're always trying to build the connections, build the foundation, and that's what's really important.
And I think one of the things that Mindy quickly mentioned was Williamson Remembers. What community is telling their history? We've got ugly history, and we've chosen to tell the ugly history and get it out there.
Hi, I just really wanted to echo my thanks to you all for your courageous leadership and really demonstrating how civic engagement can be effective resistance to hate. So thank you for that. I was so impressed in your application at the sophistication of your data collection. And so I wanted to know, and you had some impressive stats here, are there some other data points that you're particularly proud of that sort of demonstrate the impact of your work?
So we fundamentally believe in data-driven decision-making. It is harder and harder to do because we have more data than ever before, which sounds very contradictory because the more data we have and the more rubrics we have and the more artificial intelligence we have, you'd think life would be easier. But then again, we now live in a paperless society too, right? So in order for us to measure effectively, on behalf of the city, we not only have had, performance metrics and priorities for all of our departments, but we use the National Community Survey. We also engage our city employees. We do a biennial employees survey. But those surveys are continued because Franklin Tomorrow does separate surveys on particular issues and particular polling. And the great thing is we do enough surveys and ask similar enough questions that they end up validating. Because again, if you do one survey once and say, we've got public opinion, well, maybe you didn't if you sent it to 50 people. But if we get several thousand that respond to the community survey, and then you get 500, and when those results are pretty similar, the elected officials and appointed officials get a pretty good idea about what's going on and what the people want.
As part of the Healthy Democracy Initiative last year, we really enjoyed being part of that, but our survey, we had almost 250 completed surveys on that project. 65 people came to our evening dinner to talk and build the program, and then as was mentioned, we had over 400 multi-generational for our Breakfast with the Mayors in October of 2025. We used Mentimeter, and just the response, we had over 300 responses during that conversation on Mentimeter of what people wanted to see, what they wanted to have happen. And that's where really our Youth Advisory Council was reinforced as being the next step for us in Franklin Tomorrow.
I'm sorry for my fellow jurors, but we have to stop. Thank you so much. You have done an amazing job, Franklin.
Works best in the dark. As governments go, we're a freak of nature, 'cause we have the only one house state legislature. Whoa, right here in Nebraska. On Arbor Day, when you plant a tree, kids and the wife. And see
Welcome,
why
welcome,
Nebraska's
welcome.
one good life.
Welcome, Grand Island. Are you ready?
Connected and ready.
Please proceed.
Cue the video, please.
I grew up right here in Grand Island. My grandparents were connected, my dad worked for the city, my mom worked for the hospital. So these streets, these neighborhoods, and these people, they've always been part of me. After college, I came back to Grand Island. I spent my entire career building connections in this community, working through both the Chamber and Economic Development Corporation. And now I get to be president of both organizations. Grand Island made who I am today, and I get to spend every day making it a little bit better.
14 años atrás vinimos desde Colombia, mi esposo, mis dos hijos pequeños y yo. Ninguno de nosotros hablaba inglés. We working, we learning, and we built a business here in the downtown. The business opened around 5 years before COVID closed the doors, but I never changed how I feel when come back. And I left Grand Island and come back, and we see the sign, welcome home, and all my family say, welcome home. We feel in home. And Elevate Grand Island connected to me for this community in a new way. This year I graduated from the college and I teach financial literacy for the others. So because someone opened the doors for me and now I want to do the same.
We come from completely different directions, and Grand Island is home for both of us.
We are raising our families here, we found our connections here, and we know the only ones.
Grand Island, connections from all directions.
In Grand Island, Nebraska, it's the connection between people, places, and ideas that make our community so special. And today we are thrilled to introduce to you 3 example programs that embody the true heartbeat of our community, and of course, by our shirts, the connections from all directions.
Thanks, Spencer. Within the next decade, our country will have more people my age and older than Laura and Jessica's age. That's a significant shift, and it's one of the reasons AARP created its network of age-friendly communities. Grand Island joined that effort just before COVID pandemic began. And as we all remember, the pandemic was especially difficult for older adults. Isolation, loneliness, and depression became real challenges. Technology helped people stay connected, but for some older folks, learning and using that technology wasn't always easy. What the pandemic really reminded us of is how much personal connections matter.
So on behalf of concerned residents, Grow Grand Island secured a grant from the Age Friendly Network to provide free kits with the tools and the resources to hold neighborhood gatherings. The primary goal of the project was to restore that social value of knowing your neighbors and looking out for each other. This grassroots project ignited the city's re-engagement in National Night Out. And to widen the reach this year, we will be promoting in multiple languages for the first time. It's hard to measure the impact of friendly conversations, acts of kindness, but these truly are the organic building blocks that connect people to each other and to their community.
I've been in policing for over 33 years, and I believe the safest communities are the ones where people know each other and trust the police will do the right thing when they call. That's what we're building in Grand Island. The Grand Island Police Department reestablished our commitment to National Night Out by holding events where the community can come see cool police equipment and meet police officers. During National Night Out, we also send our officers and command staff to local block parties to have meaningful conversations. We believe in building trust through relationships based on every interaction, every hour, every day. Safe neighborhoods are connected neighborhoods.
Grand Island is a deeply diverse community made up of many immigrant families and cultures. Yet many of the leadership positions and elected offices do not reflect this diversity. The connections weren't always reaching everyone.
The people most impacted by decisions in our community often are not the people at the same table. Elevate Grand Island bridges that gap by creating pathways for individuals from underrepresented backgrounds to see themselves as decision makers, leaders, and contributors within their own community. The creation of Elevate evolved out of listening closely to the experiences of community members and nonprofits whose mission is to serve our new American population. Through a coalition of these individuals, we built a program that's curriculum is focused on empowering their leadership and creating a sense of belonging in Grand Island. Today, we have a thriving alumni advisory council and 2 alumni who sit on the board of directors for Leadership Unlimited. This genuine investment builds confidence, trust, and leadership capacity. One of the clearest signs that Elevate is working is through participants sharing the ways that they are accomplishing things in our community because of the program. I love hearing from graduates talk about the ways they are engaging and opening the doors to connect others in Grand Island to truly change the makeup of our leadership.
I was born in Colombia and moved to Grand Island when I was 5 years old. Growing up here, I experienced firsthand how important it is to feel connected to your community and see yourself reflected in it. Witnessing the disparities and seeing others struggle to connect is what led me to do the work I do today. As one of the founding members of Elevate Grand Island, I help facilitate conversations with newcomer community members about their experiences and what would help them become more involved in our community. What we learned was that people already had strengths, relationships, and support systems. What they wanted were more opportunities to connect, contribute, and have their voices be heard. Whether through Elevate Grand Island or through partnerships like the Global Roots Festival and the Creative District, what we're trying to achieve is the same: creating spaces in our community where people can share their experiences, build relationships, and find a sense of belonging. I've learned that some of the most meaningful change doesn't happen because a program or organization tells people what they need. It happens when people are invited to the table, listened to, and trusted to help shape the future of their community.
Community connectors like Laura and Chris understand the healing and unifying power of the creative arts. Chris here actually brought the idea of becoming a certified Nebraska Creative District to the Community Foundation to help solve one of Grand Island's greatest issues, the cultural divide of our downtown area.
With train tracks physically dividing downtown and longstanding racial and cultural divides connected to that history, we knew that we needed a really creative solution.